They ditched me on a vacation I paid for, so I made them pay for a $1,000 meal, and watched their cards get declined one by one. This is the story of how my fake friends learned the hard way that using people for money has consequences. Sam never had an easy time making friends. He wasn't rude, just quiet. Awkward with small talk. The kind of guy who second-guesses every word he says. And after being burned a few times, he learned to be suspicious of anyone who seemed too nice too fast. But Sam had something most people didn't: money. A lot of it. At a young age, he built something, I won't say what, but it made him rich. Not buy an island, rich, but never have to work again, rich. He'd invested wisely, choosing to live simply off steady monthly payments. He wasn't flashy. No designer clothes, no luxury car. Just a regular guy who happened to be financially secure. For a while, that was enough. But then, boredom hit. So, he decided to go back to college, maybe make friends, learn something new, start fresh. And at first, it seemed to work. He met a few classmates who immediately took an interest in him. They invited him to parties, texted him daily, made him feel included. For someone like Sam, who'd always felt like the outsider, it was intoxicating. He finally felt wanted. But what Sam didn't realize was that his new friends had done their homework. Literally. They'd looked him up online, and found out about his wealth. It started small, almost innocent. Someone would say, "Hey man, my card's acting up, can you spot me for lunch? I'll pay you back tomorrow." Tomorrow never came. Then another borrowed, just $20. Then, gas money. Then, hey, we should totally go on a trip together. They knew exactly how to push Sam's buttons: guilt, loneliness, pressure. They made it sound like the trip was about friendship. "It'll be fun. You need this," they said. Sam hesitated. His monthly allowance wasn't enough to cover plane tickets, hotels, and park passes for everyone. He told them that. But they kept at it, guilt-tripping him with smiles and, "Come on, you're the only one who can afford it." Eventually, Sam gave in. He took an advance on his next month's funds and paid for everything. The trip was supposed to be fun, a memory. Instead, it became a nightmare. From day one, they ditched him. He'd wake up, text the group, "Hey, what's the plan today?" and get back messages like, "Oh, we already ate. We're meeting other people today." They treated him like a walking wallet, a joke. The realization hit him hard during dinner one night. He sat alone at a restaurant table for 6, scrolling through photos of his friends posting selfies with strangers. And that's when the loneliness twisted into something else: clarity. They weren't his friends. They never were. When the trip ended, Sam returned home humiliated, broke for the month, and furious. But instead of lashing out, he waited. Because Sam wasn't just smart, he was strategic. Weeks later, while reading the local news, Sam came across an article about a nearby restaurant offering a ridiculous luxury dish, a $1,000 entree. It was basically a publicity stunt: gold flakes, rare ingredients, the works. To most people, it was a joke. To Sam, it was the perfect bait. He started planting seeds. He'd casually mention the restaurant in conversation. Show them an article about the $1,000 dish. Scroll past it on his phone, by accident. Act intrigued but cautious. It didn't take long. Soon, one of the group said, "Hey, we should totally try that. You're the foodie, Sam." Another chimed in, "Yeah, we can all split the bill." Sam gave a small, hesitant smile. "I'm still paying off that vacation," he said. "I can afford my own meal, but not yours." They assured him, "Don't worry, we've got it." But he knew the truth. They thought he'd cave again. So he didn't argue. He just agreed to the date, and let karma cook. The night of the meal, everyone showed up dressed to impress. Expensive perfume. Designer knockoffs. Big fake energy. The restaurant manager approached their table personally. "Just confirming, you all understand this dish is $1,000 each, correct?" Everyone nodded confidently. Fake smiles. Sam just nodded too, calm as ever. They ordered. The food arrived, elaborate, shiny, ridiculous. Sam remembers it tasted salty and slimy, like soggy fries pretending to be fancy. But he didn't care about the taste. He cared about the moment. As dessert plates were cleared, Sam noticed their laughter fading. They glanced at each other nervously, whispering. Then came the bill. Over $5,000 total. They all handed over their debit cards, one by one. The server swiped the first card. Declined. Second card. Declined. Third card. Declined. Panic began to creep into their faces. One of them forced a laugh. "That's weird, must be the bank." Then, one of the girls slid her check towards Sam and said with a smirk, "You can cover this, right? You've got it." Sam leaned back in his chair. looked her dead in the eye, and said, calmly, "I don't have enough money in my checking account to cover your bills." He stood up, adjusted his jacket, and began to walk away. Behind him, he heard one of them shout, "You can't just leave us like this." Without turning around, Sam replied, "I made some plans to meet up with other people." The exact words they'd used to ditch him on that trip. And he walked out the door. The restaurant called the cops. His friends weren't arrested, but a report was filed. They had to appear in court, pay the entire bill plus fines. And because the incident involved the police, the university got wind of it. They were placed on academic probation, their reputations shredded. But that wasn't the best part. The best part was the story. Sam didn't hide what happened. He told people the truth, or at least, a simplified version of it. That they tried to run out on a bill and got caught? That alone was enough to destroy them socially. No one wanted to be friends with the people who dined and dashed. They became pariahs. And Sam? He finally found peace. Because in the end, revenge doesn't always need to be loud. Sometimes, it just needs to be clever. Sam learned something that night. People who use others for what they have will eventually choke on their own greed. And sometimes, the sweetest revenge is simply watching karma balance the scale. If that ending gave you chills, hit that like button, it really helps the channel. And tell me in the comments, have you ever had fake friends who only stuck around for what you could give them? Subscribe for more stories where karma serves justice on a silver platter.